But, what's up?
Yo, shout out to Bruce Buffer, man. That joint is so ill. Shout out to UFC yesterday. Pareto with another knockout victory. Yo, this dude made his face look like cream cheese. That joint is crazy. Hello? Hello?
Not really interested. I don't know. I can't get into UFC like that.
What?
It's just boxing. I love boxing. It's more technical.
What?
UFC just knocked the crap out of people, in my opinion. Yeah. Fun fact. Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey, nothing against people that like it. If you like UFC, that's cool. But yeah, I'm not a big fan. I like actual boxing. Anyway, it's kind of fun to watch. I'm just not a big fan.
All right. Well, we're back again. Another show, new setup. So I look very comfortable right now. Very talking on the couch. Coffee talk. Is that what y'all call it? Coffee talk.
Coffee talking.
Coffee talk. Not a coffee drinker, but I guess I'm having coffee talk. But I don't know. But we got a special guest in the building with us. Second time around. We ain't gonna talk about the first time he came in. But second time around, set it up a lot better. Everything was a lot more smooth so far, so good. We'll say that. I'm struggling with one thing, so I'm trying to figure that out real quick. Our Instagram is not. The view isn't right. I'll fix it. Go ahead. Whatever.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, first, thank you for being here. I know this is a show outside of our normal programming, but as Pete just alluded to, we have a special guest today. I'm sure you have watched all of his viral videos. This guy has a bright future in front of him, and he's a member of one of our U.S. Air Force security forces as well. So I want everyone to welcome the very talented comedic stylings of Wooh Man. Welcome, Wooh Man. Welcome.
Hold on, he's not on the screen yet. Hey, there we go.
Welcome.
What's up?
What's good with you,
man?
Bro?
How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. I like the intro, man.
Oh, love. Yeah. That took me all night to work on that thing, man. So appreciate that.
Yeah, and definitely a lot better setup and more next time. I remember that when it happened. One of y'all had an attitude. I don't know who was it.
Oh, that was that guy.
Oh yeah,
that was that guy.
Bro.
He was sick. I was like, and he was like, man, fuck. He was sick, man.
Yo, I'm glad you brought that up because that's what he was doing too, man.
You can tell Pete is the one of the friend group that cares more than everybody else, gets frustrated that nobody else cares the same level as him. Because I'm like that. I'm just like that. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? If my chief was on here listening, she would give you so many hand claps and amens because she always be like, you care about what nobody else cares about. And what everybody else cares about, you give two ducks about it. It's like the small shit, you be going up in arms, ready to burn down the roof. And like something serious would happen, be like, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, you right though. I was sick. Oh, I was sick.
That day, I was like, dang, man, I'm just happy to be here. So, you know.
Hey, Wooh, let me ask you a question, man. So,
what's up?
You know, you did a skit on doing QCs, right? So, you know, when you do a QC and you nervous beginning like the day before, and then you go and you do your QC and shit just go wrong. Like, you know, you be like, hey, yo, so, all right, especially if you're doing a desk QC. You're like, all right, I need police to do this. They're like, yo, you told me to go this way. And the evaluator's there watching you, and you don't want him to show him that you made a mistake. That dude, Pete, he would do terrible at that.
Terrible.
He would do terrible at that. Yeah.
The
whole point is like a duck. You just keep swimming, but underneath you're paddling. Nobody not supposed to see that.
That's a good analogy.
You never heard that?
I never heard it.
That makes sense. They ain't supposed to see that. I mean, and it's like that being an instructor too. Like, because it's like, man, as an instructor, man, military, like there's so much stuff that goes wrong that that students don't see, right? But like, there are some instructors who let that frustration out a little bit. Like they kind of show that you're not supposed to let the students see that. You know what I mean? But there, I definitely understand the frustration, regardless of But yeah, I ain't mad at it. It shows that you care. We always need somebody that care more than other people. Because if you don't care, then nobody else is gonna care. And that's kind of like that's how the group falls.
Amen.
Yeah. I mean, shit happens, man. What can you do? You know what I mean? You just adjust, Oh, my bad.
I ain't gonna lie, I've been like that for like my whole life. I had to get a tattoo. It says it is what it is. Because I gotta remind myself that sometimes you just gotta be like, yo, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Like you can't really do nothing about it. Like I literally got a tattoo. I don't know if y'all can. I got so many tattoos. Man.
Yeah, man, you tatted up. Yeah, I see you, bro.
Say it is though.
Yo, man, I don't know why our thing is saying Facebook user, so I guess I'll read the name. But Graves, I think I remember Graves, but he says instructor here. Where your instructor at, bro? But man, it's good to have you on again. Sorry about the first time. Partly my fault, partly somebody else's fault. But we won't name any names. They name might rhyme with Philly, DC, but we won't say any names. But we good now. We all set up. Intro was a lot better. Intro was fire the first time. I spent hours on that thing. And guess who didn't play? I was hot. Oh, that's why I was hot. Like you do project. When you spend hours on project and then you lose the footage or somebody else loses the footage? Yeah. That's how I was, bro. I was hot.
What's his name? Podcaster now. He had like a little bit of beef with the Migos, like they had got up or whatever. Joe Budden.
Joe Budden. Yeah.
Oh, yes, that's who you reminded me of that day.
Joe Budden is crazy.
Yeah. You see that last like, what are you talking
about? Joe Budden is crazy.
I had to go back and watch that clip. Was with him and Guam, great guy.
Yo, Robert Malone?
Yeah, Rob Malone. I know that dude. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Great say he's at Keesler. All right. Oh, okay. You at tech school. Felicia Ferguson in the building. I always got to give her props. I'm done with it now. But man, it's good to have you on, man. What you been up to lately? I know you moved from Guam to the UK. What else been new?
Man, so I've been getting into like vlogging lately, interviews. I got a clothing business, and when I first started, I used to just go to like the print shops and have them print it. But like that got expensive, and I'm just like, and then some people they want in certain shirts, like, oh, can you make this? And I'm like, right. So these past 2 years, well, kind of like a year and a half, I just been investing into myself. So I got my own heat press. It's actually in the back right there.
Okay. Yeah.
I got my own heat press. I got my DTF printer, so I can like make like basically they print out little sheets to print onto the shirt, and then I got a DTG printer, so like direct the garment and prints directly onto the shirt. So and then I'm trying to just get everything together. I got a new website. I'm getting into making short films because at the end of the day, the goal is always to become an actor since I was 11. So that's just me using the skits to try to get there, but I want to show like a different side of me in regards to like directing and acting and stuff like that. So I'm working on scripts right now for different films. That's also going to be inspired by the military, promoting like the military, my merch, and like, problems that we have in the military as well.
Hey, McCoy, man, chill out, bro. That's McCoy right there.
He said he was.
Hey, tell the Wooh, tell the audience what's the name of your clothing merch and where they can.
The brand is Military Outcast. So when I originally made my merch, I had an LLC. I called it Dirtbag Airman, but like that's kind of like I legit got an LLC, Dirtbag Airman. Like but that's kind of like only tailored to just Air Force. So I kind of wanted to come up with a name to kind of like just like my vision and my goal was kind of just addressing the military as a whole. So I just came with Military Outcast, and I just kind of just basically showing that I create merch and I create videos for the people in the military that who make mistakes, you know, and they kind of just learn from them and not letting their mistakes kind of like make up who they are, you know. So, and it's like that's just kind of what it is. So it's Military Outcast. That's the brand, and yeah.
I saw one of your videos on the gram when you were promoting your brand. It was a video of someone burning like a piece of paper that said Article 15 on it. What was the science behind that one?
So
because I'm a triple nickel guy. I got one back in the day, so I like that.
Yes, that's just what it is. It's like, you know, like there are a lot of people in the military who have Article 15s and are still in. You know, some people got out. So basically what that analogy was about, like, you know what, like, hey, I got this Article 15, but it's not making who I am. Like, just because I got Article 15, that doesn't mean that I'm just, you know, a dirtbag, or I'm just like, you know, constantly like, you know, I'm going to learn from this situation, and, you know, I'm going to go up in the ranks, and I'm just going to be lead by example, that type of thing. But it's like kind of just burning away just like the negative image that, you know, that Article 15 possesses if you receive it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, McCoy said, I'm waiting for it to pop up. He said you got an Article 15 back when 15s were written in stone. I don't know if he still got that thing or what.
That's crazy. Written in stone is crazy.
They actually gave me my Article 15 in a Holy Joe, for those who don't know what that is.
A what?
Y'all know, y'all never heard of a Holy Joe? So back in the day, before they had like computers and stuff, they had these folders that were brown, and you had the little string that you wrap it around it to keep it closed. That's called a Holy Joe. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
I started to look it up.
Scribe.
I ain't gonna lie.
Hold on, we can look it up. We can post it up here. Hold on, because I don't even know what a Holy Joe.
I'm sure some people in the audience as old as I am close to it that remember Holy Joe.
Holy,
you know, we didn't have like, you know, Joe. We had typewriters back then. No,
military images.
Holy moly!
Woo,
imagine doing your blotter on the typewriter back in the day. All you had was
hell no.
I wish I did. Oh, that's crazy.
Yo, Nick, I don't know why the names ain't coming up. I apologize for this, but Nick Jackson in the building. I got your t-shirt too. But Braceley, what's up, big dog? Congratulations on retirement. I like this cat. He mentioned he's mentoring on social media behavior. What?
Oh, I like this cat. He mentoring on my social media behavior. What's his name?
Braceley. That's Braceley. That's Kenneth Braceley. McCoy says his six is on the real. You have Roman numerals on your shit.
I ain't gonna lie.
If you've been in the Air Force 20 years, you better know what a Holy Joe is. I'm trying to look it up, and I still don't see it.
I've been in 5 years, so I can't relate.
Military, is it a folder?
So what did you get?
I got you. Hold on. I got you.
What did you get an LOC in, bro?
What did I get it in?
Yeah, what did you do?
Like, what you mean?
Like, you said you got a letter of counseling before, right?
Oh, no, I was saying an LLC for my business, but I did. Did I tell you that?
Oh, my bad.
No, I did.
No.
I did in tech school, though.
Oh, but tech school, what you do?
Yeah. Oh, man. So this will happen, right? So I kind of skipped half a training day in tech school.
You what?
I skipped half a training day.
A whole half a training day?
Like a whole half a training day.
All right, yeah.
But it was like, so this will happen, right? So
and you only got an LOC for skipping half a damn training day?
But because it wasn't on purpose. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna go into the details. I'm gonna just leave it. Yeah, I skipped a half a day.
All right, was it on purpose?
Huh? Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Nah, it wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it. But it wasn't worth it. But that's the only letter of counseling I got. I ain't get no paperwork. I ain't get no Article 15. Knock on wood. You know what I mean? I ain't, but yeah. So, but yeah, that's so. All right. So technical.
Look what McCoy said. Look what McCoy said. Look, everybody trying to pick up what you put down, so they all put it.
So I did skip half day of training, but the reason I'm gonna go into detail, I'm not gonna go into detail about all of it, but I'm gonna go to the part where I tried to give my reasoning on why I did it. Right, giving a sob story. I even was like fake crying. Right.
Oh God.
And like but me to mind you, right? Like as I'm doing this, like it hits me the fact that I am doing this to a room full of cops. When I tell you they had zero emotion in their face, and I was telling them what was going on, I was like, dang, you know what? This is security forces. I'm like, yo, like Sergeant Polehill. I don't know if I think he's still there. I'm not sure, but he was my instructor. He was one of the instructors there, running instructors there. Yo, he was just looking at me like, yo, you full of it. Like, you know, he was just like, I don't know, bro. It was like, there's something like, it was an aura in there. Like, I went from like, you know, like, I look up. I'm like, oh, shit.
That's crazy. Hey, McCoy, I don't know why it's doing this, bro. You're going to have to educate me on why the names just stop popping up. I don't know what's going on, but we'll just keep it like it is. I'll just tell them who it is. But, I mean, that's not bad. One LOC. That's not bad. I had about 4 in my like first 4 days. So, you know, you doing a lot better than me. I mean, I ain't never had Article 15 before. So, I mean, that was good.
LOC ain't nothing. That's light work.
No.
Billy got the
Yo, don't be coming after my rap sheet like we in jail or whatever. Like I'm a half a star. So like I'm in longest yard.
Hey, listen, I got one. You know what I mean? And that was it don't really count for real. So you know.
He said, "Oh man, you light work, bro."
He said, "Yeah, he ain't got no teardrop tattoo on."
Yo, I thought the goal was not to get in trouble, not to see how much you can get in and still stay in.
No, that is the goal. The goal is to not get in trouble. Yeah, man.
Well, I need to buy me one of those Article 15 shirts, man, because I think I saw that resonated with me, man. It's like, look, look at me now, suckers. I made it.
You gonna tell them what you got your Article 15 for, or are we not past the statute of limitation?
First, put the disclaimer up there.
Oh, now we need the disclaimer. Now,
just in case. You know what I mean? I want to protect my job.
That comes from Unpopular Celebrity Podcast. All unofficial and other conversations and comments from us represent the DOD of the Armed Forces as a whole.
And why don't you put up there for me?
Yeah. I know. I mean,
it's for all of us.
It's actually in the intro. So, you know, legal was like, put that shit in the intro. Make sure that you can see it here. Everybody can see it. Braceley said he got 6 article or LOCs and 2 LOR. When you start keeping track like that, it's crazy.
15 then.
Who? Yeah, I'm God.
The guy I'm out of here. That.
Yeah, young man, hilarious. That's Limpkin. Good dude, man. Young man, hilarious, man. Skits and boys.
The award package. That was really good. Yo, what was the science behind that skit, man? Was you on an awards committee that was writing packages? How'd you come up with that one?
Nah, man, that's been in the drafts for a minute. Like I ain't gonna lie, a lot of the videos I put out, they be in the notes for like years. But it was just facts. It was like I already knew how the bullet writing process go. Like, you know what I mean? When you an airman, like, you know, you looking at other airmen and you like, they really not doing nothing. And then when they win awards, you know what I mean, and you figure out what they did, you know, you like, hold up, cuz I did that. You know what I mean? Like it's so much things that you see the more you rank up, you know. So like, and then now, I just understand how everything operates, and that's why everybody laugh at it. They think it's funny because that's what it is. Like, how many people?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, like, come on, bro. Numbers be outrageous.
I like the one where it'd be like especially security forces be like, showed up to a medical emergency, 1 life saved. Like, bro, you just stood there. You didn't do nothing. How you know the person?
I literally had a troop give me a bullet, and then my fellow sergeant was like, I did that. You wasn't even there. He's like, oh, I was your alpha.
I'll tell you make me resignate. The best one is when they be like, but I was on duty during that time. I was arming up. I was arming up when that happened.
That's why I start doing stuff that nobody else was doing. Like if it's a volunteer event, I wasn't running it. I wasn't doing it. I'm not doing that.
What's the forgetting you're an NCO?
I knew this was going to be a hard interview, man. I'll be laughing the whole time.
I just made that. I ain't gonna lie. So, what's it called? Hooded Hoodlum. I don't know if y'all been watching. He's in the army. Watching it. He like the TikTok. He like, if you thinking army TikTok, black dude, he is running it right now.
Okay.
The Gucci with the Gucci trend. Somebody getting this evening. Y'all ain't see that? Okay. He's trending right now. He did a TikTok, and then he was doing like it was a TikTok sound, and it was basically like it was like when you forget, like he said, forgetting that you're an NCO or whatever, and then like he said, oh, like no, there's Shredder, because it was like a Shredder Teenage Turtle thing. He was like, look at Shredder. He said, where? He went parade rest and look back, like you know what I mean, because he forgot he was an NCO. So I was like, oh, that is funny, you know what I mean? And like that's, you know, me being an NCO, I literally just had an incident. So I had an incident recently, a couple of days ago, where we did a PT test in my unit, right? And I wasn't satisfied with, you know, the PT, because there were people who literally on purpose wasn't giving it 100%. You know what I mean? They literally, it was an airman next to me. A sergeant asked him, like, yeah, what you trying to get on PT test? He said, you know, 75, you know, bare minimum. And I'm like, what makes you think you can say that in front of me? You know what I mean? really in front of anybody. But I'm like, you know what? I must be so cool. All these soldiers must be so cool. The fact that somebody can say that and get away with it. So I'm like, you know what? All right. And then after the PT test or whatever, I had the senior see. I'm like, hey, I talked to the senior. I said, hey, senior, after y'all, can y'all say what y'all got to say, and then leave? I'm gonna talk to the NCOs and the airmen. And I kind of just went off a little bit, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't just that; it was another situation too. And I don't like how in the Air Force, like, people shoot for the bare minimum, whether that's with work, whether that's with PT. You know what I mean? Like, as I was coming up, people were like, oh, well, you know, you always in this, you always in that, and it's because of your videos. Like, no, outside of the videos, I'm doing the bare minimum. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people who's not meeting that. You know, I was talking about you earlier, Pete, like how you care too much about things. That's how I am. Like, you know what I mean? I care about that. Like, why are you shooting for the minimum? What is, like, that doesn't make sense to me. That's why all these other branches call it soft and all this other stuff, because it's like, you know what I mean? And then we're security forces at that. We was medical, cool. If we was, if we was finance, all right, we are security forces. You know what I mean? You go to a base, you can get deployed. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like, you hear that? Like, we carry a weapon every single day. We wear vests. You know what I mean? We have to arrest people. Like, we have to be in shape. So why do you think it's okay to not push yourselves physically and mentally? That is just, in the military in general, I don't understand why people just don't have that mindset. So I made that skit because of what Hoodlum did, and I threw in a situation with me briefing the guys, because in a part of the video, it's like me talking about PT. I'm like, yeah, you know, us as a whole, we suck. You know what I mean? And then I had like the cameraman like, and I was like, oh, I looked at my rank, and I just like talking a little bit more, like I tailored the conversation, like, you know what? We were pushing ourselves, you know, but we can do better and we can do this. You know what I mean? But like, that's not how it ended up. I kind of lashed out a little bit in the most respectful way. You know what I mean? And yeah, and then, you know, I got some people didn't like it. You know, some people were like, oh, well, you know, the minimum is passing. I don't want to hear that. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't tell me that.
Look. So, you know, we got a bunch of military on this show. So anytime you talk about other career fields, somebody in that career field is watching this show every single time. Kincaid say your LES is about to be all messed up talking about
no, I'm just saying, like,
he said not AFC checking the rest of the read. Hey, don't worry, we know security forces is different.
Yeah, like
anybody who's not security forces, they don't understand that. And much props out to whatever y'all do, but y'all ain't security forces by choice or because y'all ain't good enough, whichever one it is.
Right. Yeah. Right. No, I don't mean no disrespect, but it's like, don't carry. You know what I mean? Y'all are not like y'all don't. There are different like jobs and different things you could be doing within security forces where you can see combat. You know what I mean? And we have to be ready. You know, finance don't have to worry about that. Medical don't have to worry about that. So it's like, I mean, I get what you're saying. I ain't disrespecting. I'm saying we security forces. There actually should be a separate PT test outside of the Air Force, in my opinion.
You still think that?
I 100%. The Air Force PT test is a joke.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So this is a good conversation. So I don't know if you were in. You might have been in when they were going to change the Air Force or the security force that we had like drag a body and pull them out of or pull a Humvee. So I guess you're for that.
Yeah, I'm 100% for that.
If you were to say that got implemented, right? Say it got implemented a year from now. Say we have 30,000 cops. How many cops, if it was a failure rate and you had to get out, how many cops you think would still be in?
Probably half.
That's what I would think. That's exactly what I would think.
Even less than half. But that's what I'm saying. I think it starts with the NCOs. Like I don't when I went through ALS, right? I went through ALS. Once I learned how an NCO is actually supposed to be, I started looking at the NCOs, you know what I mean, that I knew. And I'm like, what are y'all doing? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you're supposed to lead by example. You get what I'm saying? And like the NCOs, we are the communication between senior NCOs and airmen. You know what I mean? So the morale, that's on us. Physical fitness, that's on us. Job knowledge, that's on us. You know what I mean? That is literally how it is. So, and I don't think a lot of people understand how important the NCO Corps is and how much effect we have on our airmen. You get what I'm saying? So once that's the senior NCOs, that's not their job no more. That's not their job. The senior NCO's job is not to build morale. If you travel with a senior NCO for a day, just one day, right? You're going to understand how busy and how much responsibility they have. I was with my senior NCO the other day. I went to his son's football game. He got a call from the senior because the senior got a call from our vice wing commander about our troops at the gate. The senior also got a call from our chief that same day. And I can't, you know what I mean? There's so much things that is happening that a lot of people don't see, right? And that's why there's like, oh, there's toxic leadership. There's this, there's that. But that's not really the case. Y'all just don't understand how high, y'all don't understand what's going up there. Because once I got that back office job and I started seeing what they were doing on a day-to-day basis, man, I'd be complaining about sitting in one meeting in a day. They be going through five. You know what I mean? Y'all sit through meetings, like y'all go through 5 meetings a day. Like, it's just so much that, airmen and even some NCOs just don't see. That's why people complain. But now that I understand that, I'm like, dang, like you don't, and then how hard senior NCOs fight for the troops, airmen don't see that. I got a chance to see all of that firsthand, and I will go hard for my senior NCOs 100%. And for my airmen too. Whatever my airmen is doing that my senior NCOs don't see, I'm going to make sure that they see that, because that is literally how it should be. That is literally how it is. If my senior NCO is thinking a certain way of my airmen and that's not how it is, I'm going to deliver that message. If my airman is viewing a senior NCO and that's not how it is, I'm going to handle that. Now, obviously, there are some people in those positions who are not doing the job properly. You know what I mean? There's also some dirtbag airmen. You know what I mean? But you just got to know who is who and using your emotional intelligence to handle situations. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Billy, talking about a skit, like you could do so many skits on meetings after meetings going to another meeting that we just talked about that talks about it at another meeting that we talk about that's the same meeting I just got out of, and it's about to talk about the meeting I'm about to go to meeting. And the Monday meeting is preparing you for the Friday meeting, but Wednesday is preparing for the next Monday meeting. Like, you ain't lying. It's just meeting on top of me. Go ahead, Philly. You've been quiet. I know you.
I was gonna say, and I saw a comment on there. Someone said that they appreciate your Woo man's maturity. And I know I mentioned it off camera, but man, like, and someone mentioned it too in the comments, like, you're the type of person and others that think like you that needs to be on the stage at conferences like AFSA. I would get so much more from y'all, and it's nothing against our senior leaders, but we're going to hear the same stuff you're gonna hear the same stuff from us. GPC, China, China. But when we talk about like the development of airmen and more importantly the NCO, what you said right there, that spread that you just laid out is exactly what folks needs to hear. Because to your point, like you have a lot of airmen today that not all, but some airmen that say, "Oh, this is bad. This is toxic. People don't care about us. It's all about themselves." But you have folks who are airmen that became NCOs like yourself, and you got the big picture. Shout out to whoever. Hopefully, you shout them out. But shout out to your master sergeant, your senior NCO that took you to his son's game, and you were able to experience that. In the end, that makes you a better leader too, because when your airman starts bringing up issues and things of that nature, you can explain to him like, "Look, I know the master sergeant is not out there on the gate with us because they're doing some other stuff. What he gets paid to do is not just tactical stuff, it's managerial stuff to oversee to make sure we take care of us. And contrary to what you believe, they're fighting for us just like I'm fighting for you. What I need you to do is to help us by making sure you do your job correctly and you know your job so then everybody gets to eat." So, man, I just want to give you kudos for that, man. That was brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, most stuff, man. As far as my senior COs, shout out Senior Huddle, shout out Matt Sergeant Stigmeyer. They are like just remarkable people, you know what I mean? And like just learning from them has definitely helped me tailor myself a lot, you know. And yeah, I think, you know, a lot of people just they don't understand it because they just don't see it, right? Like I think that if you're doing it the right way, right, the military is not a career, or the military cannot be. How can I word this better? Just basically, I didn't take the military as a career until I put on staff. That's when, or when I got my back office job. But when I put on staff, that's when I'm like, okay, this is a full-time job, right? You got your troops doing this, you got your troops doing that, you know, you got to do this. AFI here, AFI there. You got to know this, right? And then if you're correcting something, you can't be correcting things like, you know, and not know before. I'm gonna assume when y'all come up, y'all could tell people like, hey, like, you know, hey, do this. And they're like, yes, sir. You know what I mean? Pushing. Now it's all about the why, you know. So I got to know why before I'm doing this because it's not gonna make sense. They be like, why? Oh, now there are certain things that like I'm not gonna explain why. Like if I tell you to do something, just do it. You know what I mean? Because like obviously it's for a reason. But there are a lot of things that definitely I think the troops need to understand why. Like for example, we for the longest time we didn't used to have to have nobody outside the gate, like waiting traffic. When y'all came in, y'all always had one person at the gate, right? Outside the gate, always one person outside, minimum, right? We didn't have to have that. We literally have cameras inside the gate shack that can see everything, right? You see somebody, you can literally go outside. But there's multiple situations where, you know, airmen, like they would just be on their phone, they'd be doing whatever, and there's a car sitting out there. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie, I did it one time before. I didn't have to. I was at the gate, you know, but it happened so many times. Now we got to have one person out there, and like now the airman is like, oh, why we gotta do that? But it's like this has been.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the only one still on. He might have just tapped out real quick. His signal might went. Okay, Todd Simmons said, love what you're doing. Try to bring him out to ask a couple years ago. There you go. His internet connection just came back up. I know we're dealing with UK internet. You ain't got fiber out there. So we'll go. No, yeah, you're good. You cut out, but you back in. You back.
Yeah, but, he said he tried to get me to ask us.
Yeah, Todd Simmons, Chief Simmons. I don't know if you know who he is, but at Columbia University. Try to get you out to AFSA, but I don't know if you ever been to AFSA yet.
No, I don't.
Do you even know what it is?
The
Air Force Sergeant Association, the summit.
I remember I bought it. I think I bought AFSA, like, cause you gotta buy it to be in there or something like that, right?
So how do I answer that?
Yeah, not necessarily. It's you can become a member. You can become a member, but in order to attend the conference, you don't have to be a member. That's just the way to. It's like a professional development symposium, so to speak, for enlisted folks. Mostly, it's for everybody, but mainly enlisted. And so Todd just put a comment down there. He wanted to see if he can get you out there to 2025. I mean, it's a perfect match. You're a social media influencer. You're You're pretty sharp as an individual. And I think you have a good connection with the young folks in the Air Force. More importantly, not just the airmen, but the NCOs. And I think it would be great for folks around Enterprise to hear your story. So yeah, hopefully we can connect you with Todd and you can get you to AFSA. I would definitely go to see you speak. So
let me get my pen real quick.
Yeah, I can send it to you, man. But
okay, cool. That's cool.
Yeah, because next one's in Reno. It's usually in the August time frame. I'll look up the date, but I'll send it to you. But definitely get on it early so you can get. Oh, he said if you got permissive, we'll bring you out.
mm-hmm.
But yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm actually.
Hold on, you cut out real quick, so you have to say whatever you're about to say. You gotta say it again when you come back in.
And all
right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm actually about to take a TDY right now. I'm going to San Antonio. I'm going to speak at the Defenders graduation. Then I'm going to Orlando to give another recruiting briefing. I don't know if y'all know I did that in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Air Force, the 311th Recruiter Squadron flew me out to brief the recruiters on how to build the social media and kind of like what to post and stuff like that. And that's actually my hometown, and then the commander didn't even know that. So he flew me out there in Orlando. They wanted me to do the same thing along with Sergeant Butler. I don't know if y'all know who he is. He's he's like one of the biggest Air Force recruiters with social media. Yeah. He's dope as well, man. He's trying to build a huge, Air Force content creator community or stuff like that. So a pretty good dude. He actually just bought Destroying. I know Destroying the YouTube dude, the football. He just brought him to what base? What base was that? Some Air Force base. I forget exactly where it was at, but yeah, he just sent him San Antonio dates. I'll be in San Antonio October 30th through November 10th. And Orlando is the 3rd through the 5th, and then I'll be in the States from October 30th to November 10th. So
when are you actually going to be speaking at the graduation?
November 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. November 5th. 3 p.m. is the graduation.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I look forward to it because Kenny Braceley, Chief Braceley in the comments, and myself, we're stationed in San Antonio, so it'd be great to meet you in person.
Oh, yeah, okay, bet.
Yeah, look forward to that.
Yeah. You said Chief who?
I'm sorry. Braceley. He's in the comments. Kenny Braceley.
Okay.
Yeah, good dude, man. There's a couple people. I wish I was closer to San Antonio. I'll pull up, but I mean, it's a little further from me. But
so Woo, let me ask you a question, man. Like after hearing you speak a few minutes ago, it was very inspirational. Like, was there anything that you experienced in you say you've been in 5 years, correct?
Yeah, 5 years.
Has there been anything in this 5-year journey you experienced that kind of soured your mindset or your thought on the Air Force and the military in general? And if not, or if so, what did you do or what did you experience to kind of counteract that? Because I think you'll find there's a lot of airmen or NCOs at the same time you've been in that has not had quite the career or experiences you've had. So in other words, how did you deal with the adversity you may have experienced since you've been in?
If I'm being honest, I never had a sour taste or I never had an experience to have any impact. And I think a lot to do is with the mindset, man. Like I don't think I just been getting lucky. I can't even say that, Now, do I think like my videos, probably got me through a little bit, I'm not going to deny that didn't happen, but at the end of the day, like I've always been somewhat of a high speed troop, right? Like I would volunteer for things, didn't even know what it was. Right? I went through basic instructor course. I got big. I didn't even know what it was. They said, who want to go to big? I said, me. You know, who want to take the trash out? You know what I mean? Me. Like it's just, so it's like I just found myself volunteer for different things, and I kind of manifested my life. Like everything that I'm doing right now, I manifested before the military. I said I'm going to network. I'm going to go overseas. I said I'm going to go to the UK. I'm going to get in Europe, type of thing. Like that's, and anything I said that I was going to do, that's what I'm going to end up doing. And I think a lot of airmen, they kind of they like, I guess, like fall in the wrong crowd, or they don't have a certain mindset, or they don't have a certain level of emotional intelligence. Because I had that before I even knew exactly what the definition was, like that self-awareness, that social awareness, and still kind of working on the self-management with things, but relationship management got that, so it's like once you master those 4 things, or like, you even got to master, as long as you understand what they are and start developing that, your life is going to be a lot more easier when it comes down to things. So I would just say to, any new airman that's coming in, like, do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then also build relationships with people. Like, I built any base I was at, I built relationships with my leadership. You know what I mean? And the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing is because my first sergeant and my chief, they said, hey, like, your videos is funny. You know what I mean? I got that feedback. I'm all right, cool. So I just kept going. And every unit I got into, like, that's what they do. Like, it's crazy. My wing commander, vice wing commander, command chief, they are supporters. Huge supporters. Like, like my vice wing commander, like, that skit that I made with the vice wing commander, y'all saw that? Did we talk about that last
2 million. Yeah, we did, but I wanted to bring that up again because I was trolling your page, and that's still 2.2 million views out of all the videos you've had. Now, you had some that was like pretty high, like 800,000 views, but I just find it interesting that specific one resonated with so many people.
Yeah, and because it's at what? It's at 20. TikTok is 29. I think Instagram is 26 million. So and that's based on a true story, So and it's like in that, like, but the vice wing commander, like, he called me out because he was like a supporter of mine, you know what I mean? And just seeing that, that's just, I guess that's kind of like putting me like put me in the mindset where I know, like, I'm on the right track if someone that high of rank is liking what I'm doing. So I never had a bad taste for the Air Force. I never had any bad experiences. I really never had any bad NCOs or bad leadership, but I think it's because of my mindset. Because if you ask my airmen that I came in with that was next to me, they got something to say about these NCOs. I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing bad to say about NCOs. Like, you know what I mean? About how they were. And, because I feel like maybe, I was forcing them to do their job. I'm asking questions, and I'm also making certain mistakes to the point where they have to correct them, so make your NCOs do their jobs.
Yeah. A lot of people said, I'm sorry, a lot of people. McDermott said, I have yet to come across a person, defender or non-defender, that doesn't enjoy your skits. Much love, enjoy your energy. Big Sarge, keep up the positive vibes. Yeah, man, I really, so you got a question for you. I don't even know who wrote this question, so I'm sorry for that. Has there ever been
severe scrutiny
on a particular video?
Nah. I had made a skit in Alaska. It was the flight chief skit, the most viral one on YouTube. Got like 7 million. I had, so the wing commander, my wing commander at the time, I guess he came across the video, and my leadership asked me, hey, did you make that while you were on duty? And I said, no, because I wasn't. Like, we had got relieved, and I just made that skit. It was like, okay, we were good. And that's because, like, we had mags on us in the video, like, in our weapons. So I can understand the confusion for that. But nah, and I did have to take one video down at my current base because one of the airmen, they were like vaping in the facility, and I didn't catch that. And I'll delete it immediately. I'll delete it. I'm not tripping about that. Like, it makes sense. So I never got in trouble for my videos. And like, when I first started, I would ask PA. So content creation is a big thing now, especially airmen. If you're trying to make content creation, go to PA. Go to PA. Send them to PA first, or send it to your supervisor. That's what I did. Like, I had an A1 CPA guy. I'm asking him. I would say nowadays ask an NCO. I don't know if there's any super. I was asking an NCO PA person just to be super sure. But the A1 CPA that I was dealing with, he was cool, man. And he kind of like, yeah, hey, post this, no, don't post that. And then eventually I kind of knew what my left and right limits were.
Right. Man, that's dope, man. So I guess what's next? I know you said short films and stuff like that. Vlogging, when you talk about vlogging, the only vlogs I know is people walking through grocery stores and stuff like that. Like, what are you talking about vlogging?
So vlogging, so like I got, and that, honestly, it's funny that you say that, right? Because I didn't know how big vlogging was until I got to this base, right? Like Cass and Nat and like AMP and like all these different people, I didn't know about them and what they were doing. So with vlogging, like, capturing moments, right? Just like kind of like live videos, like, so if I go to Germany, I got a Germany vlog. I got a Sweden vlog. I got a vlog from when I went home. Just giving people like kind of like an inside of my life and who I am as a person behind the comedy skits. So that's kind of what the vlogging is.
Let me ask you one more thing, because I think sometimes sometimes I get it too, but we have a platform and our platform's completely different than yours. But do you ever get, this is the way you are because of the videos that you make? So basically you make funny videos, so does everybody think you're just a funny guy all the time? And just like, and I'll be honest, and I hope we get into the story that you just shared with us before we came on, but I didn't know that about you. I don't want to open it up in case you don't want to open it up, but I didn't know that about you, what we were talking about before you came on, because the way we see you before we meet you is the way we think you are. Almost like an actor, they act in a movie, like that's how they are. Or like if they're in a like Grey's Anatomy or something, that's how they are. But do you ever get that, like maybe with troops, with supervisors, with whoever?
Like, oh, like they think like I'm just super always like funny. I'm not gonna lie, I am like a funny guy.
I'm a funny dude. Don't get it wrong.
Like one thing I will say, I prefer to be like my natural self than professional all the time, right? And I think knowing when to turn on and off that switch is important, right? Whether it's you and then other people around you, right? Because like I care about my troops. I care about the people around me. You know what I mean? And my best way to build, a relationship or a bond with someone is through comedy, is through like, whether it's giving them nicknames, whether it's just like, saying things randomly. Like I try to be that person, but at the same time, like, like I joke around, but there are definitely times where like, hey, like we need to be serious. So I would say, I guess I'm kind of learning that now, because I was joking around a lot. And then I kind of noticed like, sometimes airmen might think, like I said, they might think they could say certain things like in front of you, like
Right.
like, what I mean? Like, I'm cool. I'm not that cool though. Why do you, what I mean? And it's also like I did put on staff when there were other people that were senior airmen at my base. So that's also kind of weird, when you're making rank. So I don't want to be like, oh, he's a power hungry NCO. Like, no, I literally have to change. I can't be Sierra Page. I can't. At heart, I'm there.
Right.
Off here for life, but I can't.
Not for life.
I can't be that because I have my CNCOs that are relying on me to get these airmen together and like get them, you know what I mean, and do what's right rather than what's wrong, And there are some things you kind of get away with. You still be a little bit of dirtbag, you know what I mean? Everybody got that, but if you don't know how to do it, don't do it at all,
Right. Amen to that.
You ain't got that finesse, don't do it. You know what I mean? Because like some people just they don't know how to do it, and then they actually end up doing something crazy, So, but yeah, people, I think people in my unit, my leader, and like around me are starting to like sense that, and they might not. Some people was probably not liking me right now, and I'm cool with that. That right, because if you're going to be the person that is going to be calling things out, they be like, oh well, okay, he's a party pooper. Like, nah, this like everybody is not doing what they're supposed to do, so I'm going to call it out. I'm going to do it, and if I make a mistake, make sure you call me out too. You know, what I mean? No thing. I'm not no hypocrite, no contradicted person. I also make mistakes, so if I'm messing up, you let me know. But if you don't say nothing, don't, you know what I mean? Don't complain about what I'm doing.
Yeah, definitely know how it is to be a dirtbag. I'm definitely not above that title at all. I don't even know who said that, but I'm definitely not above being a dirtbag. Somebody knows me well.
Yeah.
Hey, so Woo, let me unpack something real quick, because you said when you made the transition from airman to staff sergeant. So I was watching the other day your skit on when you become an NCO and the things you do that's counter counter to what you're supposed to be doing. Like I love the part when he was sitting down at the desk and you had the white socks on and somebody called you out on it. Because that goes to almost the P. Diddy conversation. And the reason why I'm mirroring both of them is that when people get in certain positions of power or rank, they assume some of the standards don't apply to them, but they kind of enforce it on their subordinates. So what are your thoughts on that?
I do believe, right, that when you rank up, like, you know, there are certain things that you can't get away with. And I'm not mad at it. You know what I mean? Now wearing white socks, obviously that's crazy, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you leave your office and you don't got your top on, like you just go to a room real quick, you know what I mean? And you're a senior NCO, you got it. You know, you officer, you got it. Yeah, I mean, you got it. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know, like that's something so little. But if you're like walking outside without your cap, you know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, it's all right. That's like you can't get away with that because the airmen are gonna start thinking that's okay. But like like I said, no, it's knowing that finesse, knowing different things. But if you're abusing it, like doing, you know what I mean, then that's like, come on, you can't be doing that, you know. But the higher ranking you are, like if I'm the wing commander, like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, like there are certain rules that don't apply to me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just be real.
Amen.
You know?
Yeah.
That's me being understanding. Like, you know, like the wing commander walked outside without his cap. I'm not saying nothing to him.
You know what's funny though? Hey, you know what's funny? He would probably appreciate it if you did, but there's just, like you said, there's a way to say it. And you slip up, it's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Is there a possibility that I can offend him the way I say? Is that the person I really want to offend right now by saying one wrong thing?
Yeah, and it's about delivery, and it also depends where we're at. Like, if he's like outside his house, or if, you know what I mean, like, you know, if we're like in a commissary, let's say I'm walking with him, he come out like, hey sir, like, you know, you put your count, you know, like that's kind of like the scenarios I'm kind of thinking of right now. But is I think people can finesse 100% the higher they rank up. Just don't abuse it and try not to do it in front of your airmen as much. As that's all I would say, because that's kind of like whenever you're doing that and then the NCOs are corrected them, you know what I mean? Well, the the med sergeant does it, and then we just like, well, he's a med sergeant. And they're like, well, what that mean? And now we gotta explain what that means. You should know what that means. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? He's a master sergeant. Stop playing stupid with it.
So you should know what that means.
Like that. You gotta tailor your words. That's definitely one of the things that that I am definitely working on, because like, you know, it's like sometimes, man, I swear, man, sometimes airmen say things like it just only makes sense. I had an airman, I walked in one time and she didn't have her pants blouse, right? And I was like, hey, can you blouse your pants? She was like, oh, no, leadership's not here. It's 5 a.m.
That's normal though.
Yeah, can you blouse your pants? Like, no, I'm not. Can you just blouse your pants? I want to say, can you blouse you know what I mean? I want to go, you know, because like, what? How does that make sense? Leadership's not here. That's why you're not blousing your pants.
It's not here.
You know what I mean? Like, who said that? You know,
you're part of leadership anyway.
Yeah, like that's what I was like. You just like, okay. You know what I mean? So
I don't shit. Yeah, so I ain't shit.
Like what?
So
somebody basically said, I'm leadership.
Like, and then you get situations like that, and it's like you have to communicate different. Like when I was a senior airman, like I would just say whatever. Like, you know what I mean? I don't care. Like, I would say what's up. Like, yo, you get your, you know what I'm saying? But now it's like I have to tailor my words. I have to use proper vocabulary. It's all about delivery. And I don't mind doing that. It's just like sometimes I don't like doing it when I feel like someone should understand already. Like, why I got to explain to you to blouse your pants? And that's a part of 2903. You know what I'm saying? Like, why I got to do that? So,
yeah, let me ask you. I know y'all getting harped about standards out there, because I think everywhere it's getting harped about standards. So I'm just going to ask you straight up. You ain't got to answer. But it'd be funny if you did. Not funny, it'd be cool. What's your thoughts about beards, standards, that type of stuff?
Man, so I have a shaving waiver, right? And after that incident that I did, I kind of like, I was going through different thoughts. I'm like, you know what? Is this who I want to be as a leader? You know what I mean? I kind of went through a lot after that because I didn't like how my delivery was because I was frustrated about the PC thing. So like, I kind of just shaved my face and I kind of just like, you know what? Let me look more serious and stuff like that. I don't think because if you have a beard, you're not that makes you unprofessional. I think that, you know, if you're not brushing it or if you're not, you know what I mean, if you just letting it look all peasy and stuff like that, that's what I think you shouldn't be doing. And I think obviously, you know, like 1/4 inch, like, you know what I mean, like whatever that
quarter inch, yeah.
yeah, you know, but I
Hold on, folks. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Internet, folks. All right, you back up. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I gotta get some new internet, man.
Nah, you straight. Oh, maybe you're not straight. Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Just because you have a beard, I don't think that makes you a professional. Right? Because I got one outside. I'm gonna let it grow back. I'm not doing this again. I don't like this. Right.
He said makes it look like I'm 19.
Yeah. I don't like it. I'm gonna get it back. You know what I mean?
Right. So do you think there's you've been in for 5 years, but do you think there's a standard issue in either A, security forces, or B, the military or the Air Force as a whole?
Absolutely.
What would you be
doing? I didn't come when I came in. You know what I mean? Like, and it was only 5 years ago. Like, it's not really a long time. But there is like the ones that's coming in now. I'm like, what do you like? Who? You know what I mean? Who makes you think that's okay? You know, so it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's a standard issue. I think a lot of NCOs are just like they're still being airmen. You know what I mean? I got to tell staff sergeants to blouse their pants. Well, I got to tell you. You feel me? Well, I got to tell you that. I don't like telling you that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if I'm correcting airmen, right? And you're not doing what I'm correcting, how you're not helping me. You know what I'm saying? You like, and now I'm looking like the bad guy because I'm telling people to do things they're supposed to do. You know, like if the airmen got, you know, they got old uniforms or they just got, you know, like right now, a big issue in my base is like name tapes. Like the troops will have like name tapes on their vest, but not on their blouse. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Why is that? How is that even? Why are you not doing that? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me ask you, and Philly, you could interrupt me whenever you want, but is the problem that us as NCOs, senior NCOs, are not a combined force to get after the standard issues? Or is the issues the people who are coming in that don't have the standards to be in the same Air Force that we were in? Hold on, your internet went out again.
Let me turn off my Wi-Fi.
No, you good. You good now. You good now.
Yeah. I said I think it's 100%.
Because you said sometimes, like as an NCO, you feel like you're the bad guy. Don't you feel like everybody should be the good guy, bad guy? Like we should all be a united front to get after issues.
It's the NCOs. That's where it starts at. Because that's literally it's the NCOs. Like, because the senior NCOs is telling us, like, senior NCOs tell us what we should be doing. NCOs is not doing it. You know what I mean? They're not holding standard. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, that's just what it is. It's the NCOs. Like, and like, because like I said, what I started understanding what an NCO was, I'm looking around, I'm like, yo, a lot of these ain't NCOs. Right? They got the rank on, but they don't have that, you know? So that's where the problem lies. NCOs, as NCOs, we have to hold the standard. We have to lead by example. We got to dig into the AFIs. We got to know different regs. We got to know the job knowledge. We got to be physically fit.
You on that physical fit. You on that physically fit.
Okay?
He said heavy.
Right? Yeah. Heavy on it. If you ain't got no waiver, all right, you need to be out here working out. Okay? If you like 5'7", 5'8", you win over 200, that's a problem. That is a problem. Okay?
Yo,
like that, I don't. Ooh, that grinds my gears.
I see.
Ooh, and like, cause look, I've been to aerosol. You know what I mean? I'd have been. I was in the CRG unit, and a lot of people think it's because of that. Like when I was law enforcement, I was going to every single PT. I was going to different PT sessions. And that's because I was trying to get to the CRG. But before I even had that mindset, before I started running 2 miles after, a workout, because I was in the CRG, before I started training for Aerosol and Ranger, you know what I mean? I always had that mindset. So once again, NCOs, get in shape. Get in shape. For real, man. That get me mad, man. Like I hate
I saw a comment. Have you heard of the Facebook group called DOD Beard Initiative Group?
Nah.
It's this group, mostly military folks, led by, I hope I don't butcher his name. I was going to have him on the show. Goodell Israel. He's in the Space Force, E8 in the Space Force. But he made a comment, because, I think some folks think the Air Force is having an all-out assault on shaving waivers. And so one of the comments he made is, you guys are worried about shaving waivers. How about we worry about the tubby NCOs and senior NCOs and officers? He said, I'm coming for you. I'm going to make sure you hold the standard. I'm coming for you. So what you just said reminds me of that exact same thing. So then it makes me think, every standard matters, does it? Does it? Every standard matter, right? Or does this some it's not that big a deal or more important than others? Or are you
Beer isn't that big
every
a deal.
standard matter?
Beer isn't that big of a deal. I think I don't understand the whole thing about beers. If you got a waiver, you got a waiver. If you don't got a waiver, shave your face. Like it's not, I don't think that should even be a big topic. You know what I mean? And like, do we honestly need to be like, why do you need a beard? To look better? That's what it is.
Well, there's some people that have that condition, whatever it's called, and Philly knows it, but whatever that condition is called, where your face bumps up.
Light as barber.
Thank you.
Yeah, get a waiver. Get a waiver. That's it.
Right.
Get a waiver.
So most people do, and what happens is they go out of control with their waiver, right? It's almost like if I have a waiver where I can't do PT, like this is one that kills me, and you're going to talk about PT, so I'm going to get on my high horse for a second. When you have a waiver that says you can't do group PT, that doesn't mean you can't show up. You still got to show up. Your mouth still work. You ain't got a mouth waiver. You could cheer people on. You can encourage people to do better. You have a job as an NCO, senior NCO, to show up. Now, you might not be able to do the exercises, and that might put you in a mental frame of mind of why I got to show up if I can't participate. But it goes beyond that. PT is esprit de corps. You are part of this unit. You need to show that esprit de corps. That's the stuff that kind of with the beard thing, they just take advantage of, I got a waiver. It might be outdated because I don't want to go back to medical, get a new one. Or it might say I got to shave Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I'm only going to shave Monday. Or I'm just going to trim. I'm not going to shave. Then it's like, what's trim look like? Because some people say the beard stops at the chin. You can still shave your neck. So I get you. I just think people just try to play with that stuff, with the waiver thing.
If this is how I see it, man. I'm kind of this is kind of my main thing on it. If you are trying, right, and like if you're trying to be physically fit and you just can't because you got injuries or whatever, 100%, right? If you're abusing that waiver, you are soft. That's straight up, right? And like, I don't think you should be in the military because this is what I'm saying. They say in time of peace, prepare for war. If you go through history, there's always a war, right? We chilling, and there's wars going on right now. It's just not, America's just not involved, right? We still got Russia going on. You know what I mean? That's still happening. The Middle East is popping. It's not, America may not be physically involved all the way as people may, you know what I mean? But war still happens. So if you're not physically fit and then we do go to war, how are you going to be an asset in combat? You're going to be a liability. You're going to be a liability, right? Like, are you going to carry me? Like, you know what I mean? Because like, this is my mindset. And I developed this mindset basic. I would die for anybody to my left and right. Like, that is like, I don't know I didn't join the military to serve my country. I'm not gonna lie. I joined to travel. I joined this, but like whenever I was in basic and I started being around these people, I started understanding like, yo, like this is what it's about. I'm getting goosebumps right now thinking about like I would die for my troops or for anybody next to me, regardless of what's going on. And that's just the mindset I had before I even know what that was. I've never been deployed. I've never seen any combat. So I'm not going to sit here and say if I'm in those situations, I'm going to know exactly what to do. But I'm going to let my natural instincts come in. And I know that this, at the end of the day, this is what I signed up for. So I'm constantly mentally preparing myself for those. I'm planning out scenarios. You know what I mean? Like it'd be an honor. Like, no, and I ain't trying to sign high speed or super blue. It'd be an honor to give my life for anybody next to me and or just for my country, period. You know what I'm saying? And I think people just don't have that mindset. Like I'm watching these military movies, like, you know, based in World War II and stuff like that. Like it was great. Like the sacrifices that these people made for us is insane. Right. And like you joining our military and you don't even want to give it, you don't want to give it your all. I can't relate. I can't relate to you. I'm not a David Goggins, but like I'm not asking you to run 25,000 miles. Just give it 100%. That's all I'm asking. That's it. But if you're not giving it your all, how are you? Come on, man. Like that.
See,
that
I will say you're kind of an outlier from the people I came across, because you will say, I didn't come in to serve my country. I came in to travel, but while I'm traveling, I'll serve my country. Like I'm still going to do my job. That's the big thing. Yeah, I'm still going to do my job. And that's the big thing. People will say I came in to travel and I don't want to do my job. I just want to travel. Like I don't want.
How does that make sense? What are you talking about? Raise your right hand.
Right.
People in the military, listen, push come to shove, I'll risk my life. That's what you said. That's what you said. You ain't made say it like verbatim, but basically you said y'all can use my life to protect America.
Right. Go ahead, Philly.
And then you coming in and you what? Don't make sense. Don't make sense. Just give it your all. That's all I ask. I'm not asking you to be Superman. Just give it your all. Don't just try to get by. And actually realize that you're in the military. You're not working at Walmart, buddy. You know what I mean? You're in the military. Like you're not working on a regular job. You know? So like, yeah, like I don't understand it.
You sure you only been in 5 years? It don't sound like it. You don't sound like you've been in 5 years. And you said you're a staff sergeant. You don't sound like a staff sergeant right now.
Man, it'll be
wise beyond their years.
I was talking to my dad, right? And because like what I said at PT, I don't regret what I said. I wish I would have said a little bit better, but it needed to be said, right? As a staff sergeant, I feel like you can say a lot of things and not be looked at as like a bad. You're not going to get called toxic leadership. You're going to get called an asshole. You're going to get called that, right? But a senior NCO, if he was to say what I said, morale will be lost, right? So literally NCOs, our senior NCOs is relying on us to say the things that they want to say, right? That's it. That's what it is, man. And like, go ahead.
You're absolutely right on that. And most senior NCOs be like, oh, it's up to me to say it. And you're 100% right, because either you need to echo what I say in a more way so everybody will understand on the lowest level, or just say it your way. Because if you know, and you obviously know, most of us senior NCOs will have your back. If you out there trying to get people to move in the right direction, we'll have your back. And I don't know a lot of NCOs that will say, hey, let's all go smoke weed this weekend. Like nobody says that. Nobody does that. So if you're trying to get after the right thing, whatever that looks like, senior NCOs should be able to give you grace that it's not going to be perfect, especially impromptu. It's not going to be great. It might be a little bit of emotion involved, but we should be experienced enough to know how to tailor your message and support you, just like we need support as senior NCOs from NCOs. So hopefully you're getting that support as well for what happened at PT, that they're supporting what you're saying as well. And not saying, well, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, I got that.
Let me unpack some real quick. So you mentioned earlier that you said, well, you didn't join the military to serve your country, it's to travel, things like that. But then when you started getting more involved, you started seeing people to the right and left of you, you started to realize the type of institution you were in. And you said earlier, you was like, if you had to, you would die for the person to the right and left of you. I think that's the transformation that most people are expected to experience when they come in the military. You know, when I came in, I know I'm showing my age, I had my high top fade, my coin slots in my head. You know, I had to remove all that stuff because I was part of a institution that says, hey, these are the standards you've got to follow. And if you want to be part of our institution, you have to do it. I think there's probably some airmen today that come in, and officers that come in the military now, and they say, well, I don't want to give up this. I don't want to give up that. I want to be able to do this, that, and third. And why can't I do that and still serve? So, does that make sense? And if it does, what are your thoughts on that as far as making that transition?
It's all about having balance, man, and it's understanding. Like yo, you can't have everything you want. Like it's hard trying to it's hard trying to balance your personal life and be in the military. Like if you're got a lot going on, like you know what I mean. Like I got orders I got to ship out. I got content I'm trying to make. Right, I'm running a business. Like that is hard at the same time being an NCO. Right, and there are certain things that you just got to sacrifice and be willing to sacrifice because that's what you got. Like that's what you signed up for. Right. So yeah, I got these problems that I'm having, but the sacrifice is worth it, man. I'm 24 years old living in the UK. You know, I used to back home. I used to be watching the show Peaky Blinders in my papa's attic. Now I'm an hour 30 away from Birmingham where the show was filmed at. You know what I mean? So it's like this lifestyle is worth it. I'm on flight right now. I work half the year. After I work 50 days out of the month. You take leave in that 10 to 12 days, like I barely work. You know what I mean? I got fired tomorrow. Like I ain't been to work. What's today? Today is Sunday. Man, was I even at work? I don't even know. I don't like to work till, you know what I mean? So it's just like it's like I said, it's a mindset thing, man. And like having that finesse as well and like looking at things differently, you know. And a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people come and they join. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to sacrifice this. Well, you joined the military. If you don't want to sacrifice it, get out. Because you are as soon as you sign that contract, you are saying that I'm willing to sacrifice my life. So anything that's included into that, like it's your life. Like you know what I mean? So it's like it's yeah, man. I think I don't know, man. It's people just don't be. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't understand it because like I can't relate to a lot of people. And you know, like David Goggins said, if you're passionate or like obsessed with what you do, you'll be misunderstood by a lot of people. And I feel like I'm misunderstood. You know, that's just what it is. No, I'm
look at this guy.
Yeah, I definitely misunderstood. Definitely misunderstood.
I'm not understood at all.
Yeah, we need to take Chief out this thing because he ain't misunderstood. We definitely misunderstood. No, I'm just joking. But no, man, I appreciate what you're saying, man, and it really opens up the door, the aperture for who you are and what you got going on in the future. First thing, I'm gonna send you Chief Simmons' book. So this is who hit you up, said go to AFSA. So I'm gonna send you his book. So you can take a look at it. He has a bunch out there, but I'll definitely send you this. But it's really good to have you on. I don't want to end the show like here if you have something else.
I just want to get one more zinger in. One more zinger.
Right.
So
I got
so you've been you've been in 5 years. So and you've been having a good career in the Air Force. So there's been a lot of discussion about the pay differences between enlisted and officers. There was a initiative to try to raise the pay for junior airmen, like from E1 to E5, I believe, for 20%, but that was declined by Congress, and so now it's going to be 5%. Do you feel that enlisted folks, and maybe specifically junior airmen, E1 through E5, should be paid more? And if so, what would that look like in your opinion?
Well, I always want some more money, so I'm not going to say we shouldn't be paid more. I do think that definitely NCOs do a lot of the groundwork, especially the tech sergeant E6s. They do a lot. So like you said, what that look like? How much would I give us? Or
yeah, like do you think in comparison to
an officer?
Yeah, I guess I would say that. So like case in point, like you as a staff sergeant, the stuff that you do you think it's comparable to a second lieutenant?
No. I think maybe I do like a lot of the what they would call like bitch work, or can we cuss on here?
Yeah, you good.
Yeah, we'll just got the little
I heard you cussing. I'm like, yeah.
You heard me cussing a lot. Yeah.
All right. I will say that, NCOs, they do like a lot of the groundwork, stuff like that. But the officers, they have the knowledge and responsibility, right? And the things that we get signed, right? So like the different MFRs, right? Memorandums that we get signed, right? We're saying that the commander is doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the commander's not doing it. You're doing it. And if you fuck up, it's not on you. It's on him. Depending on, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like the officers, they have a lot more responsibility and they're gambling a lot. And they are like they're required to know more than us when it comes down to AFIs, when it comes down to different things, right? So they have a lot more responsibility than us. So enlisted and officers, it's not no comparison unless like it depends on what you're comparing. You know what I mean? I'm talking about responsibility, like no, but like I do NCOs work their asses off and go do a lot more sometimes. Yeah. But I got a captain. He was at work. He'll be at work 6 in the morning. He won't get home to like go home at 9. Like, you know what I mean? So just like that, but people don't see that, you know. So it's like, yeah, but yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah,
you had
I will say you hit the nail on the head with that because officers can't do it all, right? Like even MFRs, like they are in charge of it, but they have people like us, like me, like you, that they place to control that. It's still on them if it's right or wrong, but this is 50% of how to get promoted or how to get awards or how to get those things you want is keep your officer at a jail. And that means do the things that even though it says on paper they're in charge of, they put you in charge of. And act like it's yours. Act like it's yours, take responsibility for it, and move out like it is yours, even though we know at the end of the day, it's on the officers to make sure, like, you know, for me, I'm first sergeant, like the family care program. It's the officers program. PT, that's the officers program, but we run it. Right, it's up to us to make sure our people are physically fit. It's up to us to make sure the people have family care plans. If I start slipping up, I can't be like, "Well, it's your program. You do it," because at the end of the day, it's mine. Right? You need to have some ownership of it.
No, 100%. So you had brought up you talking about the situation we talked before. You talking about my brother?
Yeah. And I think if you can let everybody know the inside, because this is why I asked the question before about do people just look at you and think one way? Because I'll be honest, and just we're impromptu with this. We're 100%. When we had you on for about 10 minutes, made sure we did a sound check, you popped off. The first thing me and Philly said was like, I would never have thought that. Ever in a million years. If they lined 5 people up and you were one of them, said this is the situation, this is who it is, pick the one, you wouldn't be number one. Definitely wouldn't be number one. But I don't know you at all. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I would say a lot of people don't know stuff about me unless I talk about it, because I am like a super fun, jokey person. And a lot of it is because like, you know, previous, like, anxiety, depression, stuff like that. So I know how it is when other people are feeling low. So I try to do my best to bring people like I try to make people laugh when I walk into work. Like it's 5 a.m. How y'all doing? You know what I mean? I know y'all want to be here. We got this 14-hour shift, but you know, that's kind of what it is. But so my brother, I got a single mom, right? My dad was in jail from the ages 9 through 16. My brother's dad's just not in his life. So it was just my mom, my brother, and me. And my stepdad was also kind of in the picture. When my mom was kind of on and off. But originally just my mom, my brother, and me, right? So when I reached the age 15, I kind of started bumping heads with my mom. And, you know, like I started living with my uncle and my granddad, right? And they started teaching me like masculinity because they were like super masculine people, right? My mom's a feminine person, they're super masculine. So over time, I kind of learned how to like master the feminine and masculine energy, depending on who I'm dealing with, right? And I knew that at a certain age, my brother, because we're 4 years apart, he was gonna start bumping heads with my mom, which was happy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, because I believe this, and I don't mean to disrespect anybody, but I think a woman can only raise a boy up to a certain point. Just like I think like a man can only raise a daughter up to a certain point, right? Because like you can't teach them womanly things. Like she has to learn how to be a woman from a woman. You have to learn how to be a man from a man. You know what I mean? And you're getting older. That's why a lot of these boys like they hitting women because they are growing up with just a single mom. You know, and it's like they're not taught certain masculine things like, hey, you don't do, as a man, you don't do this, right? This is not what you do. It's not how you move. So they started bumping heads. I was actually trying to get him as soon as I joined, right? Because that's just like, I know the age, I know how he is. So she finally let me get him. So, and this is whenever I had started, I was kind of, it was like kind of like peak, making skits or whatever. So I went to the States on leave. And then whenever I came back to Guam, he came with me. And that was July. I turned 21 in August, and I didn't get custody of him up until November. And I didn't get the command sponsorship until like January time frame, something like that. But yeah, I kind of just been, just raising him, getting him right, showing him what it is, and like kind of getting him the taste of that military experience, giving him a credit card that's under my credit to start building his credit because I didn't have that. So I'm just trying to do things that I didn't have growing up because I don't want him to go through a lot of the lessons, a lot of experiences that I learned whenever I was around his age. You know what I mean? Like I was 17, I was in a raid, you know what I mean? Like it's just a lot of things that I experienced that he just never did. And I don't ever want him to experience that. So I just kind of, as I'm learning things, I'm teaching him like, yo, hey, this is how, if I'm falling out with a friend, right? If I got this going on, like, okay, this is what's happened. This is why this person, you know what I mean? So like any mistakes that I'm making, he is seeing it and he is going to learn from it because that's how I tailor my life. I learn from other people's mistakes. If I see somebody, I'm like, damn, I ain't trying to do that. Like my family, like growing, my dad, he was in jail for selling drugs, right? That was like my family. I'm watching them sell drugs and watching them go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. You know what I mean? I'm cool on that, So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, dang, like that's a long time away from people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I just wanted to just shadow him from a lot of different things, right? My mom, she love her to death. She's cool. Like she wasn't struggling to take care of him, nothing like that. It wasn't nothing like that. It was just they was bumping heads. He taller than her, he bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He ain't listen to what she's saying. But you come around me, you know what I'm saying? You gonna listen to what I gotta say. That's just a manly thing, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like when I was living with my uncle, man, he was super massive. He punched me in the chest one time because I got cracked back in a football game. I'm like, damn, dude, like that was how am I supposed to prevent that? You know what I mean? Like he was like an masculine type dude. So I learned to take his toxic masculinity, my mom's femininity, and just combine it. And I kind of just used that to establish my emotional intelligence with things.
Yeah.
So I would just take care of my brother, man. And he came out here with the UK with me. He didn't like it, so we put him back in the States.
That's what's up, man. And I'll tell you, bro, like, and same thing I told Philly when you got off, like, you didn't take in like a 7-year-old that you were trying, like, you taking in basically a grown man. Yeah, and was trying to teach him to be a man. That's hard, especially when you got a lot going on. You got your businesses you run. Like we got our business that we run, which is hard. And going military first, full time is hard. Dealing with that stuff, and then having a grown man at your house, all that's hard. So big up to you, man. Go ahead, Philly. I know you got some things to say.
I appreciate it.
I mean, I'll just echo your comments, man. First, thanks for sharing that story with us and the audience too. I know there was a couple of comments about that. Just being able to Pete's point, not only take your brother in and being the age that he is, but as a dependent, that's a huge amount of responsibility. And then just being overseas and doing your regular job in the military. I mean, and then shout out to your leadership for being supportive. I'm sure they were pretty supportive in doing it.
Yeah, no,
they were probably more likely very impressed by what you did too. And I'm sure that's going to benefit your brother as you move on in life too. So
yeah, and like you said, Philly, and that host nation laws and command sponsorship, that's a lot bigger than just having a dependent in the States that you give a couple dollars to all the time and just make sure they have a car to drive and stuff like that. Like that's huge, bro. That's quite difficult and quite impressive at the same time. Not saying that nobody has done that before, but I don't know a lot of people who've done that before. So you one of the real ones, like they said, bro. That's legit right there. Very legit.
No, man, I appreciate y'all, man, for real. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of the things that, and I would definitely say, like, y'all definitely can relate, especially as Black men. It's like a lot of things you do, you don't really see. You're just so used to doing things, and you're just on a machine. You don't actually sit down and kind of like pat yourself on the back and be like, "Yo, like what you did was amazing." You know what I mean? That's just, and because I don't know. It's just like I feel like these certain things you just are supposed to be doing, and I guess that's why, like when I see people not doing things that I think they're supposed to be doing, I get upset. And I
It's
feel
so
like
frustrating.
you get so frustrated because it's like, why aren't that should be the norm? But that's not everybody's norm. It's how you were brought up, and not everybody were brought up the same. And you can't expect you out of other people, And that's something just I'm learning. I gotta constantly tell myself, and also get myself to pat myself on the back, because like sometimes I be moving, man. I blink. I'm like, yeah, I did this, like, like, it's whatever, like, you know what I mean? Cool, like, but it's bigger than that, man. So I appreciate y'all for mentioning that for sure.
Yeah, very similar, man. I'm sensing this as well. Like, we never take time to smell our own flowers. I'd rather have other people either A, see what I do, or don't see what I do and just give me credit for, hey, appreciate what you did. Like, I saw what you did. And that's really all I need to get me through the next year of life or something like that. Cause I don't take time to smell my own flowers at all. There's a lot of things that we do and we just don't even mention. Like you said, it's like a machine. We just do it. And if other people knew or heard our stories, they'd be like, God, dog, kind of like how we are with you right now. For you, it's just, this is a responsibility. I got to figure out how to do it, and just did it. For us, it's like, dang, man, like, hold on, dog. I hope you realize how big of a deal that probably has been for you and also for him as well. That's huge, bro. Huge, huge, huge. But so much respect, always, always.
No, most definitely.
Hey, appreciate it. We ain't gonna take too much of your time, but appreciate you for coming on here again. Sorry for the first time as well, man. I know I have my little attitude. Hopefully it's better this time. I have a little attitude the first time, but really appreciate you coming on, sharing your insights. Looking forward to your next projects. Of course, definitely Unpopular Celebrities will be tuning in. Hopefully get you situated with Ty Simmons so we can get you out there to AFSA. I'm kind of 50-50 if I'm going next year, but definitely if I go, we have to link up. And do something together if we can, because that'd be straight as well. But definitely appreciate you coming on here. Philly, what you got?
Yeah, I just want to echo your comments. Thanks again for round 2. I would have to say this is one of the most enjoyable interviews I've had since I've been doing podcasting. So you were honest, transparent, impressive young man. Man, I look forward to seeing you and meeting you in person. I just want to remind the audience that obviously he has quite a bit of work out there in social media between YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Viral videos, very entertaining. If you need some comedy in your life, just definitely check out his videos. I laugh every single time. And I knew this was going to be a difficult interview because my face was hurting the whole time, man. Just so funny, man. And then the other thing I wanted to add too is that hopefully you'll continue in our Air Force. I see you as a person that can really influence young folks as they rise in the ranks too. But with all the talents you got, I checked out your comedy special when you were in Guam. I thought that was funny, especially the part about nothing into ladies. So I thought that was funny. I won't.
Whoa.
If you want to know what I'm talking about, check out the 2022 one. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, hopefully you'll continue to pursue that avenue. I think you're a natural, man. I know I sound like I'm gassing you up, but if you sucked, I would tell you. But you got natural talent. So again, thank you for being on, man. Look forward to you being on here again in the future to kind of catch up with you. And if you need something for Unpopular Celebrities, we will be there for you, bro.
For sure.
Man, I appreciate the love, man. Definitely, man. Appreciate you having me on. I wasn't like super motivated to actually come on. You know what I mean? I had a lot of stuff going on right now, but I feel so much better talking to y'all, most definitely. So, man, I appreciate that for real.
Anytime, man. Open invite for you all always. And if we do go out to AFSA, it's a year away, so who knows what's gonna happen in a year. We always do live interviews and stuff like that. So maybe get you on a live interview, or you can come out and just BS with us and just enjoy life, man. That's really what it's about. Meet people and enjoy life, networking and shit like that, man. That's always what it's about. Oh shit. But yeah. But man, I appreciate you coming on. Oh, go ahead.
Before we stop, I want to make sure we give Woo the last word. Any thoughts for the audience or your peoples before we sign off, bro?
All I gotta say is NCOs need to start being NCOs before we end up coming in to a situation that's going to affect the entire world, and it's too late. So, yeah.
All right, we'll drop the mic on that. Unpopular celebrities, y'all. See y'all a couple of weeks. We out of here. Peace.